Give me a minute. For a year now, we have been hearing that Pokrovsk is going to fall. Pokrovsk is going to fall. Pokrovsk is encircled. It's going to fall. For a year. The Russians have thrown away tens of thousands of lives in the meat grinder assaults and the attritional advances that have taken them a year to go 20 kilometers here in the encirclement of Pokrovsk. It's just like Bakhmut, it's just like Andriivka all over again. The Russian trolls are cowing that any day now, Pokrovsk, as they have been for a year, that Pokrovsk is going to fall. As if it means anything. Of course, the Russians' push forward means something. The loss of Ukrainian land, more Ukrainians living under the occupation, the lives of valiant Ukrainians who fought to defend that land. Of course, it means all those things. But in terms of the strategic goals of the special military operation, the situation for Russia is hopeless. Even as they make these tiny incremental gains at extraordinary cost, the Ukrainians are cutting rail lines in Russia. All the resupply to the front line is being cut off. There is a stranglehold, and increasingly, too, we see the Ukrainians cutting off the supply lines to Crimea. For a siege, the siege of Crimea is coming. And you would not want to be there when the water runs out, that's for sure. The fools who supported the Donetsk People's Republic, so-called, are now facing a world with no water, no fresh water, because the incompetence of the Russian Federation and their stewardship over the temporarily occupied territories. The law, this is the point that I want to make with Pokrovsk. The Russians will crow about Pokrovsk if they take it, the way that they did about Bakhmut. But I would remind everybody that the seizure of Bakhmut cost the Russian Federation the Wagner Group. Right? There's no more Yevgeny Prigozhin. Igor Girkin is locked up inside a Russian jail. All the top guys of the Wagner Group fell to earth in a fireball, and Wagner is no more. Its disparate elements absorbed into multiple different Russian contract armies or official Russian army. There's no more Wagner. That's what the loss of Bakhmut cost the Ukrainians. The destruction of the most effective fighting force that the Russians had in this war. Taking Pokrovsk, should the Russians manage it. And I'm only mentioning this because there are analysts that are suggesting that Pokrovsk will actually fall soon. What I want to say to everybody is that is not the end of the war. That it's just another fallback. And the cost to the Russians will not be known until after it happens. Just like the fallout with Wagner didn't happen for a couple months after Bakhmut fell. The cost, when they finally get there and they stand on the mountain of rubble and their own dead, and the cost is known, then we'll be able to get a sense of just how much it cost Russia to take a few more square kilometers of Ukraine.